reconciliation, as you know, is a key component of our mandate. And we are going to provide our auspices and our premises as well for them to do the reconciliation here. It is something that we only acting the TRRC as facilitators. And as I said, with this element, a key component in our mandate, as I said before, we are providing our premises and the time for that. So at the end of the hearing summit today, the Committee on Reconciliation will be part of, they actually would be hosting the event. So we will do that once we finish our hearings at the end of this afternoon. With that announcement, Council, are we ready to continue our hearing? If we are, you may proceed, please.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Welcome back, Mr. Sane. Please turn on the microphone.
Council, Bismillah, Mr. Sane. Sila microphone number.
Yeah, okay.
I would like to remind you that you're still under oath. And therefore you have an obligation to continue telling the truth.
Yeah.
Do you understand?
I hear you.
Prior to the break, you told us that in 2006, you returned to the State House as Yaya Jammeh's orderly. During that time, can you tell us if you became closer to Yaya Jammeh, serving as his orderly?
Yes, I became close to him because the orderly that was there, the one that was close to him a lot was Tombombojang. He removed that one.
So
I went there and Sekou Jallo.
Sekou Jammeh?
Sekou Jallo.
Sekou Jallo.
Thank you. Can you tell us what you meant by you got closer to him? What types of things would you do for the president?
That was the clothes that you wore.
Like now, bottle laundry, assemble laundry.
Like when they are taken to the laundry. When they are brought back, we are the ones that normally would pack them. We will pack them, take them to the drawer, and arrange them properly. His shoes as well. And also, every shirt or clothing that he had to put on a daily basis. We are the ones who normally select that for him. As he comes in, he will just inspect it and then put it on.
How, on a daily basis, how much time would you spend with Yaya Jammeh when you started doing that for him?
There was a room which was the room for the orderlies.
So
that was where we reside. It had a telephone.
So I take her to some saloto.
Sometimes he sits inside his sitting room.
So muka sinyo kan tenting, you know, we don't
sit like in the same place and you know, looking at each other. We don't do that. But we sit in that room of ours, and then there was a door and a corridor between us and him.
So nintol taran sorota ala bunko non kataje pour doko e non kanala rek nga konko ni nga konko nga danku.
So if we needed to go to his room to do carry out any one of our responsibilities, we will knock onto the door, and as he responds and opens the door, we will go in and do our work.
And ngataje fona botaje atata office auto like working hours like someone
so like we are always there except if he leaves and goes to his office, let's say during working hours in the morning.
What apart from that,
that is the only time that we are always not together. But apart from that, once he returns back from the office, we are always in the room, close to him.
So you essentially lived with him at the residence?
Yeah.
Yes, yes.
Can you give us examples of how Yaya Jammeh would treat you and Sekou Jallow when you were both orderlies at that time?
Santiago fasongo dinna Yaya Jammeh ka alla kulu ke nyaadi wato men albije orderly yala itaning Sekou Jallow.
Akan treat Jammeh nta foro lungo wati do ka soto akan treat le ay betia demanding barala betia bukame.
The treatment, I can say, there were times when he treated us well, but that does not usually last for a long time.
What do you mean by that?
Because here you are working for somebody, and then you have him constantly abusing your mother.
Correctly.
And also you are there, but you are unable to have a proper sleep. If you are seated and you are dozing off, and if unfortunately he finds you in that state, sometimes he comes along with a whip. And when he comes there and finds us there, he used to beat us with a whip. Sometimes also he comes with a mosquito spray. And if he finds you asleep, he will spray that on your faces.
Sometimes yellow toto.
Sometimes you cough, you choke and you cough to the extent that some people used to even cough blood. It happened to me, it happened to Bajere, it happened to Sekou Jallow.
You said that he would beat you with a whip simply for finding you, simply because he found you sleeping.
Yeah. Jinko sometimes ni sita de hani comme ni be bataring be dulato e buka sino no maybe tilikilin tilifule man sino.
When you are dozing off, sometimes you are in a place for 1 day, 2 days, you did not sleep.
Ngaje ko no manki tanati ni sita de kino hani nyabiti maybe hani mantra sino la bar ni nyabiti. So I did not
see that as a problem. Sometimes you may not be sleeping, but you could just be relaxing and you close your eyes for a moment. If he finds you in that moment, he will accuse you of sleeping and such, that that kind of punishment will be meted out to you.
Do you recall how many times that happened to you?
I cannot say, but it happened several times.
So that is something that he would do often.
Yes, he's used to that a lot. God is my witness.
As a result of those whippings, did you sustain any injuries?
Akaw karawaso men kala fo karawaso anane balo busi le ka fara wala ka barama.
Anene ngotemo jang mako fela jatni camera fa sa juwe.
Once I had an injury on my head, the mark is here. The camera can even focus on it.
Ala suodo kami mutamuroni.
The sword that he holds in his hand.
He
once found me there, but I was not asleep, but I had closed my eyes. The sword was inside the cupboard. So he took that and hit me on my head, and he wounded me, and blood started oozing out. And then he turned just like that and went back to his room. That happened.
You also mentioned that he would sometimes spray mosquito spray in your eyes because you were sleeping.
Susula spray aniwele kana susula pompo aya pompi nyada kan me yalonko asimari deundia fofana akakele
ha.
Yes,
okay,
he used to do that.
And you said that happened to you as well as some of the other orderlies.
Yeah.
yenyum foka ketetela anin orderly dolu.
And you said it was so serious that some people would be coughing blood.
Biko tumodo la ka sangara la hanfo imari ka toto foi ka yelo bondi.
Ha.
That used to happen, yes.
How often did you go through abuses such as this?
Wo mantora fasongulu wo jawya fasongulu it watini wati wo kake alla nyaadi le watini wati lo mbamfo adalta wolale.
Adalta wolale nsafula abuka kirungolu mbare adalta wolale wo kai wo buka bai.
That was not happening every day, but he was used to that. It was always happening.
Apart from the two examples that you've given us, very serious examples, were there any other ways in which Yaya Jammeh would essentially lash out at you and the other orderlies?
Nyin santion fulo ko la yemenu fotem fosila dolu bijele akali tilimbaliano nyamin wala ka kudimindi kala.
Ntara miro to wala jana grawta katu min jana aka min soni ata obe kono mu jiyola de jusumi adu ngasa samba nga bon kan baru jiyo wote fenkele la
in my thinking those were the most serious. As for cold water, sometimes he'll sprinkle it on you, but that was nothing compared to the other two.
You mentioned that he would abuse your mother. What are some of the instances that would lead to that kind of behavior?
But nga fotenti like atemu multimi alonko.
Let me put it this way. He was someone that even if I held this hand, which you yourself can tell that it's a white paper. You saw it, and I saw it too, that it is white paper.
Black paper.
And he tells you that, in fact, it is a black paper.
So saying, fair for her is black.
So you must accept and say, yes, it is black.
And
if you wanted to disagree, he would say that you wanted to challenge him.
So because if I film for the kid, you have to fight
I think that's the reason. Because if he said anything and he wanted to tell him no, it's instead this way, he will see that as a challenge to him, and that usually leads him to abuse your mother.
So until communicating can deal
So what we normally did was just to keep quiet. Whatever he said, we keep quiet.
Apart from the verbal abuses, such as insulting your mother, Are there any other types of statements that he would make as a result of something you did that he didn't like?
Fo aka kuma kandolu fo le menus ke kuma kurungulti ka foko yekule ke atemalla fi men.
Te kai nsafonore no alafaka fem fo reka ba fulele.
Well, for him, I can say that whatever he wants to say to you, he always says it to you. Even if you did anything, even if you didn't do anything, whatever he wanted to say to you, he would say it.
What are some of the things that he would say to you?
Fo kuma dolu bijele meni alonka ske kuma kurunguti wala ske kumuti ate kamem façon fali meni alonka manke kuma nyimati.
Karante ainsilandile no.
He scared me, you know.
Anine afonyele.
He once said to me that that I would die like a dog. That my corpse was going to be picked on the road, just as the dead body of a dog would be picked on the road. He used to scare me and say those kind of things to me.
How did it make you feel when he said those things to you?
Ake ite kauta nyadile ka feel nyadile nayo kuma kamfason lufoye.
Sondo mo bukaten kunayo fonye.
My mind used to be disturbed when he said these things to me. But I used to say that, well, let me just leave everything in the hands of God. When the time comes for me to leave this place, I will leave it. I just leave everything in the hands of God.
When he issued threats such as these, did you feel that he was capable of carrying it out?
Yes, I took those things seriously because he had the power.
Why do you say that?
Because he was the president. That was why I never took his threats as just empty threats.
What about when you went on tours? Are there any examples of how he treated you during that time?
Yes, it used to happen also. Yes, because I used to get into his vehicle. Those biscuits that you used to throw out, when he stands in the vehicle, I am the one who used to supply him the vehicle, the biscuits which he then would throw out. Maybe later, maybe I told when I'm giving him biscuits, and sometimes if I am slow in doing that, if you would check in the clips, you would see that sometimes he throws the biscuits very fast. So that if I delayed a little bit in supplying him the biscuits, he would kick me as he stands there on top of the vehicle. He would kick me down where I was seated, supplying him the biscuits. That used to happen.
As a result of the way he treated you and others, did the other orderlies stay on the job, or did they eventually leave?
At that time, nobody was brave enough as an orderly to say that they were going to leave the job.
barnga ku killing kalamta ke aning ntenga odli min taraje.
But there was one thing I noticed. There was one oddly that I found there.
The
way he left the place, he accused him of stealing his money.
After
After he dismissed him.
So one other tara physical, well in Tommonti, one other tara ground.
So that man, Tombong, ended at the ground.
So after Tombong,
I think Tombong later on had an accident.
Katita so anata kan threat na ka fanya ko yeto monjele ni ka foko tombo yala kodole sunya wala tinna we asdang soto.
So Tombong had that accident and broke his leg. So then he began to threaten me, telling me that, you see Tombong, he had that accident because he stole my money. That happened.
As far as you know, was that allegation true or false?
Silang itela londo to wo 2 million to nyalti bang famanke kuma soto
manke tonyati because
that was not true because
e ordly jeminata na ngaya na parete bal na kumi lafte ke bala ka kangole lay kan yafu yala ko le sunya way nyineke
any oddly that he fell out with, that he wanted to sack, he must accuse you of doing one thing or the other. Either you stole his money or accuse you of something else.
As an orderly, did you have access to handling his money?
You don't
have access to that because all his bags, he will lock them up and keep the keys himself.
This Tombong that you mentioned, is it the same as Tombong Bojang or is it a different?
Tombong Bojang, yeah.
For how long did you serve as an orderly at State House?
State House.
2006 and 2014.
Since I got there in 2006, I was there up till 2014.
So essentially you were one of Yaya Jammeh's orderlies for about 10 years. 2 years at Kanilai.
Yes, and
and then about 8 years at State House in Banjul.
Another Sanji State House to Banjul.
Is that correct?
For Akatawalenyam.
Yes.
During that time, can you tell us about the relationship that the president had with some of the women that would come to the State House?
Yaya Jammeh musolu menu ya lonko kana State House je ataniwulu temolu yemune korosi je.
As we discussed previously,
I
will give you a sheet of paper with a list of names. And you can refer to the actual name. Let me clarify. You can refer to the number. Next to the name, but do not refer to the name of the individual. I will also hand the same sheets of paper to the commissioners. And so they can follow your testimony in relation to the circumstances that you will explain and what you observed. So I'll provide you with the list and then I will ask you some more specific questions. When you were interviewed, Mr. Sane,
Mr. Sana ko biri interview ye nyininka.
one of the questions that you were asked
Nyininkarol kono ye nyininka ko kilinna.
was about what you may know in relation to sexual violence offenses.
Wala nyindi ko ite mellong musol la karola fitina façon mel la musolu kang.
Or any odd behavior that you noticed at State House.
Wala kujiko jaw façon men ite across State House je.
Including anything involving underage women, and I'm referring to under 18 years.
Kuo kunding men sitilin dindingol la muso dindi sunkutundingul men ya lonko ulusio be sanji tang anin seye duma.
Our investigations are ongoing, but any information that you have would help us assess the situation much better.
Na kisi rolu be ke kanne de bari ite kibar wo kibar dinna fana wo bentulu mako ile kende ke.
One of the things that you mentioned in your statement
Ila sata kumaka ngokono men safeta yo kumakilim foje
is that the former president was very much attracted to the opposite sex.
ko atenyim membe president yala nun jang musol la ko diata ay bak.
And then you talked about some of the women who would come to the State House
Andu ye musol dol la kumo fo men kana State House.
at very odd hours of the night.
Andu wol dol kana je suto wati sangarol lela.
Can you tell us a little bit about what you observed?
Femfanye la krosiroto ite menje wo kolto tumo.
And again, reminding you not to mention any names
Kota ka be hakilo bulan la hani man tofo amunta ko nombalu men bije be wolle fola.
and to use the sheet of paper in front of you
Bitum kayto men be nyaati lengula be ta bata mala wolela.
to help us follow your testimony.
Purunga bule la sede yaro noma.
Thank you.
Abaraka.
Tuka diamo senyandi ela aiming for
To make things clear, based on what you said,
amake State House li kanel lailong.
it's not the State House.
same.
It's
Abim
Kanilai, but it's the same.
It's dolka nana coming like protocol.
Some used to come, just like protocols.
Maybe I can invite, maybe I grill ke I invite.
Those that he would normally invite for grills.
Ko dole nana kahata him.
Some also come to brew green tea.
Yeah, wakasoto.
That used to happen.
So let's maybe talk about the attire first.
Akonga ataya ko folofo.
What was significant about women coming to brew attire for the former president?
Mune kuma yata musol la koto menu kana ataya tabi president way.
Ya tabi ya sambaye.
They will brew it and take it to him.
Normally ning akita nyama ntolle nyana ka escort ngadi sisti wodola.
Normally, if things were in order, we would be escorting, taking it and giving it to the stewards.
But ni wole ahima ka fole ye bula itol fonga ya samba.
But if they brew it, he used to give order that let the women themselves take the attire to him.
Sometimes kedol fananka hata himle sojaro mialon ko kellong.
Sometimes also other people like soldiers who were men, they also brew the green tea.
But ni wole ahim inkasti wodole kanana rek wea samba ntol nga escort.
But when those people brew the attire, the stewards will come, collect the attire, and then we the orderlies, we would escort them to take it to him.
Baraning sunkutol ten like sojaro wolia tabi.
But if it is ladies like this, like female soldiers, if they are the ones that brew it,
Wolle ka samba ifongole ka samba.
they would take it themselves to him.
Akonkane escort.
And he will tell us not to escort them.
Sometimes ikataraje maybe 5 minutes ya funtina.
Sometimes they are there maybe for 5 minutes and then they will come out.
Wati do kasije for wati tansaba wala talang tansaba wala tanani mafong. Imeje for yenana.
Sometimes they'll be inside there with him up to 10 o'clock or sometimes up to 4 a.m.
No, Montero la talang, no, Watu la talang 30 minutes kata 40 minutes.
30 minutes to 4, okay. Minute tansaba, kata minute tan nani yong.
Sometimes they are there for between 30 minutes and 40 minutes.
So the reason why you felt that this was odd is because if it is the stewards taking it upstairs, one of the orderlies would go with them. However, if it was specific women taking the attire, his order would be that no one should escort those women. Who would decide which woman would take the attire up to Yaya Jammeh?
He used to say, call so-and-so individual. Let her come and brew the green tea.
And how would you call these individuals? You mentioned that some of them were soldiers based at State House. Or is it Kanilai?
For Kanilai long.
Can you clarify which of the two residences we're talking about?
For Banjul State House.
Banjul normally plain clothes.
We are usually in Banjul as plain clothes.
But
when he goes to Kanilai, everyone goes.
So was this happening at both State House in Banjul as well as Kanilai?
Banjul State House and in Kanilai.
No. State House, abuka taria only Kanilai long.
No, it was not frequent at the State House. It was only at Kanilai.
Sorry, it was not frequent at Kanilai, at State House, or it didn't happen at State House, only Kanilai?
Ako sila abukake bakele Banjul State House ba abukataria kela je akake mensiata akake Kanilai le fodum akake nyadile.
Kake Kanilai la wake Banjul denga min kalamta.
It used to happen in Kanilai, not Banjul, according to what I am aware of.
And when these instances of brewing attire and taking it to the president, when those instances occurred,
what
was going through your minds at the time? Because I'm trying to understand what is significant about this in this particular case.
Ako alafta lonale wotembo ite katara mune mira kankatu ate fanan lafta lonale wotembo mune ka sababu mune ke daliloti mune ke daliloti men ka kende akake onya.
Oh, okay, teo folano because normally na kita suto haning hata katabi sutole.
Well, I cannot say exactly what that is because normally these attire brewing sessions used to happen in the night. Sometimes 2, 3, 4.
Within 10 o'clock, 11, 12,
sometimes 10 o'clock, 11, 12. It happens during all of these times.
But coming kata, follow min keta katu nebuka abedame.
But I cannot say what happened because where he was was different from where we were. And except he gives instructions for any one of us to go there, we normally would not go.
Were there any occasions where you went upstairs at all?
For watu doluka sutule watu me alonko ite fansi sele kata santoje mumeke bang.
During such instances, of course.
That never happened.
Were there any rumors going amongst you, the soldiers, at that time as to what you believed was happening?
Ngulungulu kumolu betama kanjele atel damangulu tema alikono menu bije kata fo sojarolu ka fo nyinkuka façon lebe kekan.
Mobuka Hani ko sifa de amatu minan tol bije bare maybe hani te funga yalo maybe sondo mo kono rekitike dele bare wato mole buka hani kaddi ko sifa fo.
No one was brave enough to discuss that. Even if you had such thoughts in your mind, you just kept them to yourself. Nobody dared talk about these things.
At that time, you told us that even when Yaya Jammeh would lift up a white paper and say it was black, you would all say it was black.
Ako watu wotembo iko hani Yaya Jammeh hanae kaiti koyo wulindi akoye nyimfintale dia fu adiate Maria mandie foya fa tonya nyimfintale hanna tara kaiti koyo lem.
Based on the environment at the time,
Polo belari nyamen wotembo
if a person were to say no,
ni itamari nata soso iko hani.
Is that something that could have been done by, for instance, other soldiers?
Fo sojaro lumenu katarje fo sojaro dolu si hani o nyongo kelale bang.
Mo kambare menyame nunje no malla mo be hani la wala.
I was not aware, but I do not think that given the situation that we were in, that anybody will dare do such a thing.
To say no to Yaya Jammeh's request?
Kafo Yaya Jammeh hani na ememfo.
Can you describe the situation that you were in? You told us about you as orderlies, but generally what was the situation for the other soldiers?
Aya fo nje Benjamin ne bare atel odleol be men kono bare bitun sojar dolu menu biji wul letara nyaaje be nyaadile
Lafta purunga jam fa prayer clear ntol odlil bedamen tol katubungole kono.
I want to make this thing clear. For us, the orderlies, where we were, was in a building,
So the other soldier will katubantale.
but the other soldiers were always outside.
Buminka guard keje wetla guard room to wala tra other side.
Those that were on guard duties, they will be in the guard room, and the others will be in other places.
And running momang ajo haji so rebuka dunna bunkono.
And if someone does not have any cause to come inside, normally no one would come in.
Fonate fananko ino ko ali kari kili.
Except he gives instructions to say that call so and so person, then one could enter.
I would like you to look at the list of names that you provided. Can you point to the numbers on this list to give us an indication of the women that would brew attire or take attire up to the president?
Number 6. Say on you say.
Number 6?
Number 8.
Number 8.
Number 8.
Number 8. Sorry.
Do you have a pen with you? Can you just circle number 8?
Number 8 murung kalala.
Kononto.
9.
10.
10. 12. 13. 14. 17. 18. 19. Yes, these were the ones that would take attire. These are the ones I'm aware of.
You already told us that on some occasions that sometimes a person would go up for about 5 minutes and return. On other occasions, person could go for a longer period, 30, 45 minutes. And you told us that this would sometimes happen very late at night, around 10, 11 onwards, and sometimes very early hours of the morning. You told us that some of the thoughts that went through your mind are ones that you did not dare share with any of the other soldiers. As the Commission is investigating this matter, we want to know what it is you were thinking at the time, based on the circumstances that you observed.
Because my observation, that would be difficult because what I know is, why would it be the case that when a man brews the green tea, the stewards will take it to him? But if a woman brewed, she would be one taking it to him.
So what was going through your mind?
I was not thinking of anything, but I just took it that if a man and woman are inside a room together, and they spend a long time there, if that one comes and says anything anywhere, then people will take it that perhaps what the person says is the truth.
And that is very important, Mr. Sane, because we may hear evidence from some other individuals who might make certain allegations. So it is important for us to know what other people such as yourself observed, including your views as to whether in some situations people could say no or accept what was happening. At any point in time, have any of the individuals who've gone up to the president unescorted confided in you about what happened there?
That never happened. Because when they went and came back, they will just return back and sit down and continue brewing their green tea. But if I told someone had spoken to me, then today I would have revealed it here. Because I never got close enough to the room to know exactly what was happening there.
Because abe fenka wala abe kukika mola.
And I cannot also say that I have once seen him doing anything to anybody.
And wolfana ni fundira na inata na.
And those people also, when they come out,
ibuka femfo or maybe nge fenje nyata kodo maybe ye diam o ye fem from ya lonko inoko a nyine kita.
They never say anything. I never also saw it maybe in the way they look or their mannerisms, or for them to confide to anybody as to what might have transpired while they were there.
And of course, as you know, it's difficult sometimes to tell just from looking at someone whether something's happened to them or not.
And tomorrow akakoleale puruka mojube tendorong yenyi mirako nyinkukar ni nyinkukar le tamata.
You also told us that there were some of the protocol officers who would come to the residence at very late in the night at odd hours. You told us that sometimes Yaya Jammeh would ask you or one of the orderlies to call somebody. In order for the person to go to the residence. Can you tell us about that?
That used to happen. You could give instructions to say, call so-and-so person, connect the person, let me talk to the person.
Then
so after they have spoken, after some time, that one will call back to say, I am on my way coming, but I am coming along with so-and-so person. That used to happen.
Can you tell us around what time of the night this would happen?
Sometimes 12, 1 a.m., 2 a.m., 3 a.m., 4 a.m. Because while I was there, we did not have anything we call night. Every time we were there.
You said that sometimes you would call a particular individual in order to bring the person that Yaya Jammeh wanted to see, correct?
Ayatamo kamanang ya Jammeh lafta menjela umari sitao kamanang ayanati wolembal.
Can you look at your list and tell us who are some of the individuals that you would call in order to bring people to the residence late at night?
Sayang wakaito balajube fo molu fanalu bijele meni yalon ko tumodo la ka komandiro ke puru ibita melnu kamala nan kenati ya state house o sutola kenati la bungo o sutola.
Killing.
1. 2. My mind can recall these two for now.
You will also notice that the same names are repeated in the second section as 30 and 31.
Ibajela ko woto kilungulu sainkan kita wallale tansaba anin tansaba nin kilinjangoto.
So it's the same individuals that we're talking about. Their names are just listed twice for your information.
Amunta ateo mu kilungulu lonkato ito safeta si nyafula.
Ha nyumuflo ha.
Yes, these two individuals, yes.
And tansaba nin fula.
32. He used to talk with that one.
After he spoke to the person listed as number 32, what would happen? subsequently.
Mem tansabanim fulanjaunti nani odiamuta munakana ke wokola.
So wakanana ne nakanana njele.
That one used to come there.
Kome akabo Komboja ne watu ntolbe Kanelai.
That one used to live from the combo end here. At that time we were in Kanelai.
Aninyi muwani sei.
And number 28.
Ani wakanana.
They used to come along.
So number 32 would bring number 28 to Kanilai, is that correct?
Ako abele ko tansabanim fulanjaun leka muwani sei njaun nati Kanilai bang.
Yes.
And around what time of the night would that be?
Wakake suto wati jumale.
Wati doika futa nan talang killing.
Sometimes they will arrive at 1 a.m.
Wati doika ke talang fulati.
Sometimes 2 a.m.
And would the person listed as number 2 stay, or would he leave?
Ako memu number fulanjango nyinti. Akatujele bang fudunga te katale.
Akasijele domani akasaf maybe drinks fenkola soft drinks la.
Number 2 will sit down there for something, maybe serve soft drinks. Then after that, number 2 will come out.
Number 2 or number 32?
Ako fulanjang bang futansa banim fulanjang.
Tansa banim fulanjang ni wo sita ni tansa banim fulanjang wo kanana nereka sije domandire ka nasi ntolbe dame.
Number 32 comes there, sit down for a while, and then come and join us where we were.
Number floor.
Number 2.
Maybe I soft drink
So number 2 will go there, serve them some soft drinks, sit there for a short while, and then also leave.
Apart from the person listed as number 28, did number 32 bring any other individuals from other countries at night?
Tansabanim fulanjang fay modolu nati le kabubanta bankulu kambang suto asemenu nati je.
It happened, but I did not see the name of that individual on this list.
Is that individual from this country or from a different country?
Ako womari munyimbanku dimuleti bang fakabonam bantala bankol leka.
Bantala bankolo comes out of the Gambia.
Can you write the name of that individual on the same page, but with an asterisk next to that name?
Ako, is voice yo mari to safe no le nyin kaito bala bitun ya to safe da men ato dala ye kalata ye fenkije na taman zero kije asterisk ko tubabul ka fu nyamen.
I have written it down.
You mentioned that number 1 and number 2 who are also listed as number 30 and 31 are the people that Yaya Jammeh would specifically request to bring the women to the residence. What was the role of these individuals? Or put differently, what kind of position did they hold at the time, generally speaking?
They
were protocol officers.
During that time, where did they live?
They were residents here in the Combo.
Did they stay in State House or somewhere else?
State House le falla wala be State House e bantale be dinkira dolto.
Banta.
They were outside.
Barika wati jamake je back.
But they spend a lot of time there also.
You mentioned that sometimes they would bring some women very late at night. Are there any names on this list that you recall?
Akoye ko tumodulu ka musulu natije suto bala. For tolu be o kaito balale bay hakilo sibula menna.
Yes.
No. Saba.
3.
Nani.
4.
Lulu.
5.
Woro.
6.
Muwani woro.
28. 26.
Aning muwani konondo.
And 29.
Have you ever interacted with person number 7 on your list?
Ako fo ni mo me yalon ko wolem woro wulan jangote kaito bala. Fo na mari ne la kudun tanyo kunu bang.
Ani ni manyulong.
No, I do not know this one.
For person number 6, do you recall how many times she came to the State House?
Ako woro njango nying fo hakilo sa mutale wen sinya jelle ke kana je aliaje.
Or the residents? Kanilai.
Kanilai ala bunguto je.
Ay watu ngalu ne konta kuntil no bara asiatale.
I know that
ana watu minabi kanana ne watu wat nintata watu minabi janga kanana mbake.
I cannot count the number, but I know that there were many.
I'm referring to instances where she would come with either person number 1 or number 2.
Akabe mema wole mfo wo mari animodo sina membe me yalon kolem number 1 ti foloti wala fulanjang.
Anin kilingo kanale.
She used to come with number 1.
Wati do fana anin fulanjang kana.
At other times also she would come with number 2.
So just so you're careful with that paper, maybe rest it on the table.
Akwesi hakilo to kaito to the membe laring isi abelaring tablo kanje.
So your recollection is that she came more than once.
Ila mira ro munyenze ko anata jele mensi ata sinya kilimuti.
You told us that sometimes when they would come, you would be the ones to relay. You would be the one to relay the message.
Ako yenyu fuko tumodo lunibina itele fananka ikibaro futandi.
Were you at all present in the room at any point while these individuals were there?
Ni binala wala ni betara je alibele katara bungo kono je bang.
Ambele katara nimbe na nkasida me ni nata nangika ifananka si woleto.
Where we used to sit, when they arrive, they also sit there.
Then telephone wala nte wala modo.
Then we will pick up the telephone, either myself or another person.
Nga fire ko number killing one nata na naning anim luntango.
Then we'll pick up the telephone and inform him that number 1 has arrived with a visitor.
Wala number fulanjango nata nane.
Or number 2 has arrived
anim modol
and other people.
So my question is, were you ever in the room? When, for instance, person number one or number 2 would bring any of the women to the residence?
Watu men ate number 1 wala mfollow nyindi wala fulanjango isi musolu nati bungo konoje.
Nene bakatara konoto de barankatara nkasida misalo to nene mandung konoto be katara dami.
I never got inside where they were, but we were always we were inside at the palo.
During those instances, did you at any point see any inappropriate behavior taking place during those visits?
Itela taro wiche okonoje fo ye ku korosile wale ku je me ya lonka manke ku sobeti me ya lonko asakeje.
Nene mo think because mbuka futa je bidame nkasi ntol kasi na saloto kasi ban nene mbuka futa la kono reje.
I never saw that because I never got into the room. We always sit at our palo.
In your statement, you state that you would often see these people massaging the former president's feet. Is that correct?
Yeah, afo wato lobije ekajele nyimolu be president singulu nyabula.
Yes, that's true. It happened.
And do you recall on how many occasions you saw that?
Wake lungu dobi jenin tata wati dol to o wati dol nimbe kanilai bar won tol ka jio samana nen tol leka jio samana nga jio samana rek no ngalandi teng like pano kono.
That used to happen when we are on tour or in Kanilai, but on those occasions we are the ones who normally would bring in the water. Once we bring in the water, we'll settle down.
Then ngabula jerek then number killing wala number flow.
Then we leave the water there. Then number 1 or number 2.
Warning molie aning maybe sometimes it all like yeah, thank you.
And them and these other ones I told you about, sometimes they were always together.
I'm sorry, can you clarify that? You said either number 1 or number 2? With some of the individuals that you've already marked on the paper, is that correct?
Yes, yes.
Apart from that, did you observe anything else on those occasions?
No, I did not observe anything.
Can you sign and date the sheet of paper in front of you? As we discussed earlier, you can only tell us what you observed from the outside. And hopefully that will allow the Commission to understand what other people will testify about.
Yo, we will say jikoti ko modolu be men seriaro ke la commission salo be mentala.
Can I ask the usher to retrieve the paper? Mr. Chairman, I will seek to admit this as exhibit number 0092, which would be relevant as well for subsequent testimonies.
Request granted. Did you say 0092? Well, we had 93 yesterday. Did we? Oh, my memory.
I was just given 92.
91. And that's all right. Are you retrieving ours as well?
Sorry?
Are you retrieving?
Yes, if you can just put it down on the table, I'll ask the usher to retrieve it now.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
0992 is granted. Thank you.
Mr. Sane,
Yes.
Mr. Sane,
you told us that you remained as Yaya Jammeh's orderly until 2014.
yenyum foko etuta Yaya Jammeh la odli yalla for 2014.
Apart from the abuses that you've testified about,
Ana manke nyanta tinyaluti yemenu foteng.
did anything happen to you while you were serving as an orderly?
Foku ketela le bang watu mebe odli yalla itafango kungo. Yes, it happened.
Please tell us about it.
Afonye muneketa.
2012 kono.
In 2012,
Nakaramta April karo kono.
I remember it was in the month of April.
Mbe State House mbe Santoji.
I was at State House upstairs.
General Martin nata switchboard or call.
General Martin came and put a call through the switchboard.
Watonte be dokola ning cleaners will be dokola bunkono ya jamela bungotosi.
By then, I was doing cleaning with the cleaners inside Yaya Jammeh's house.
Talantaning na jeko talantaning maybe 10 or 11 mafongolo.
This could be around 10 or 11,
Ni manyina ino.
if I can remember.
One oddly telephone receiver ko ko
One oddly received the telephone and told me that
botana anatantara bungoto akonye ko idanku Martina. He
came running to me and told me, go and answer to Martin. He said you should go and see him immediately.
So not an awole nyama.
That's how I came down.
Mfura step out direct Martin, you know, I called ke koteke.
When I arrived at the stairs, Martin made another call.
So milbe santo koteke ya wolko ko, you know, Martin ko abina kanna be sele kannanne.
So those who received the call upstairs told Martin that, well, the person you called is coming downstairs.
To Martin ntebe yanimbe bunda la pour ka jinan duma santo flow ka jinan.
Before I can open the door from upstairs to come outside and meet Martin,
Mo bunda rek.
the moment I opened the door,
Rek I am lipanan tongoro.
then he hit me on the back of my head.
I am school I na duniko school I am sabanang.
He scolded me and pulled me out.
Stepol to enyurnang stepol to mbeji kana stepol lefana mbije bantaji.
There are steps which I was descending and he pushed me on those steps.
So na jita na wale nyama fo dumaje.
So that's how we came down together up to the downstairs.
Office auto ya jamela of niga ji step reje ika santo jibe bare nabe office ni ridol sabatare ifa ikajala bilori ni ridol saba.
When you are coming downstairs, because Yaya's office is upstairs, but if the curtains are open, if you look through the window, you can see him standing there and watching. I saw him standing there.
Martin
Martin scolded me and pulled me out, so we were coming.
Captain Nuhabaji.
Captain Nuhabaji.
And main gate.
They came to the main gate.
And Marito Basanga remember one military police J Fajara Barracks. There was military police J State House.
There was one of the military police officers at State House there.
Sergeant Sergeant Job.
I think his name is Sergeant Job.
So Nuhabaji handcuff bondina rek handcuff.
So Nuhabaji took out a handcuff and they handcuffed me. They put me inside a pickup. They in fact pushed me inside the pickup. I went inside and sat in the middle.
So Martin sat tank.
Martin sat on the other side.
Military police member State House Sergeant Job sitting on my right.
The military police officer at State House, Sergeant Job, sat on my right-hand side.
Then, I
cannot remember the driver's name, but he ignited the vehicle. So they took me straight to the NIA. When I arrived at the NIA, I was still handcuffed. Martin pulled me out of the vehicle and they just took me to a cell. It's the cell when, after entering the NIA headquarters, it is on the left-hand side. When going there, there is a corridor there.
Then Fenko Nying Bunda Ne Bundalong.
It's an iron door painted black.
Then I nailed sort of nefla, I cross nefla sort of a cross ring.
And there are two irons crossed on the door.
I padlock also padlock yele.
And there are padlocks too, but I saw them open the padlocks.
Then yenyuri bunda ile damerek.
So when they opened the door, they pushed me. They pushed me inside and I went in. They locked me up there. That place was very dark.
Palantero tijebare hole bije ika unding olika light domanding maybe nani ni manyina ino nani barika.
There are no. There are no windows there, but there are small holes through which, if you peep, you can see light reflect the reflection of light from some areas. There are many things written on the wall. People wrote certain things on the wall.
Duma concrete floor long.
And on the ground there is a concrete floor. You can see urine anywhere in the room there, in the cell there.
Like Ninkabo ala waramam ba
like the big size of bottles like this, but they cut it in half. You can see that these things are filled with urine. But also on the floor is all wet with urine. When I went in there, I found a curtain there, but I think somebody placed that curtain there, but even that curtain was wet.
Yeah, the name Dundije Mbije Onyama.
They put me in there and left me there like that.
Mbije fo ngabrenga around one for pass kila tribula ma fongol around 2 ma fongola rek.
I was there till around 2 p.m.
Inate bundayele.
They came and opened the door.
En samba bundo kono.
They took me into another room.
The former DG deputy
the former
Gomez.
The former Director General Luis Gomez.
And one Mr. Jobate Malong, actually the name, but I know the son name is Jobate Abe NIA.
There was one NIA officer, I cannot remember the name, but his surname is his surname is Jobate.
Can you describe Jobate?
Ako foi si Jobate kalango fono bang mo mnyadi lem.
Kefingolong.
He's dark in complexion.
Kefingolong.
He's dark in complexion. Well, not very well built.
So
they came and asked me what has happened.
Is Jobate tall or short?
He is a tall person.
Please continue.
So they came and asked me what has happened. I replied and told them that I don't even know what has happened. They said, you don't know what has happened? I said, yes, I don't know what has happened. Then that's the time they told me that the president said, you are the person who removes the firing pins from his guns. I said, that's not true. They told me that the president also said that you stole his money. I said, that's not also true.
So, because by looking
they didn't worry me. They were just looking at me after I replied to their questions. Well, that's all what happened there.
So, but Martin General Martin.
But Martin was around the area.
Can you tell us General Martin's first name?
General Martin,
Alaji Martin.
Alaji Martin.
And at that time, what position did he hold, or which part of the army was he in?
Otembo mumpalas le babulu rank wala be sojaro la bunda jumalela.
Telem fiankotinum PPO.
He was the PPO.
What does PPO stand for?
Ako PPO koto mumuneti.
Personal Protection Officer.
Personal Protection Officer, that's what PPO stands for.
Does that mean he worked at the State Guard?
State Guards lekono.
Like the president of Betakanda, teleka si nyato ting, teleka si abala, teleka la bunda fana yele.
Yes, like he's the person who sits near the president. Wherever the president stops, he's the guy who opens the door for the president.
And so what happened after you saw him at the NIA?
So I saw him around, but these people came back and took me back into the cell.
So before Suto,
I was there till at night.
Around 3 o'clock mafong.
Then they came back, I think it was around 3 o'clock in the night, 3 a.m.
General Baji Natananje.
General Baji came there.
Anin Nuha Baji.
With Nuha Baji.
Anim Mof Fulabari Wol mawol long.
Plus 2 other people, but I don't know those 2 people.
Which General Baji are you referring to?
Sol Baji.
Okay, he said he's referring to General Sol Baji.
So they came to the NIA around 2 or 3 in the morning?
So ako nata NIA je talang fula kata talang sabakang suba.
Nata nande bundani yereta.
When they came, the door was opened.
So watu ni uniform o mintata je.
At that time, the uniform I went with,
uniform nyimu like ngafole Pakistan kamole woti.
This is the type of uniform, we call it the Pakistan camouflage, but it was a thick one.
So handcuff.
That was what I was wearing, but before they took me out, I was handcuffed again.
Yen samba je NIA kono bundole bije.
They took me to another room inside the NIA premises there.
Step sotole.
You have some steps at the door of that room. I climbed up. When I arrived there, my trouser, they said, let me take off my trousers, and I took off my trousers. They took off my handcuffs and took off my shirt too, and I was naked.
After handcuff,
then they returned the handcuffs on my hands again.
When they took off your trousers as well as your shirt, were you still wearing clothes at that point? Such as undergarments?
Well, I had on short underwear, but those things were taken off too. I became naked.
Can you tell us what happened?
They returned the handcuffs on my hands. But they didn't put on the light inside that room. General Baji, I knew him personally. When he speaks, I can straight off understand that that's General Baji. And Nuha Baji also, I know him. But I don't know the other 2 people present.
So General Baji be anin telefono ni akili abediamo anin ya Jammeh.
General Baji was talking to Yaya Jammeh on the phone. Because I recognized the voice.
So ako General Baji kan correction engine ka ako nyeko monate ne ka nyina kido la firing piron bondi.
General Baji asked me again, asking me why do I have to remove the firing pin from the guns. I said to him that that has never happened, or it's not me, I've never done it. And he also asked me, why do you take his money? I said, it has never happened. I heard Yaya Jammeh talking to General Baji saying that he was speaking to them he was speaking to General Baji in Jola. What he said in Jola, he was what he said in Jola was that make things hot on him. So that's the time they started beating me up. They had rubber whips which they were using on me. There are marks on my back which they inflicted on me on that day.
The other people wole jola khangole ka jola khangole fo mammil suté wol ka jola khangole fo.
The two people I didn't recognize were speaking in Jola.
You told us about Alaji Martin earlier. Was he present in the room while you were being tortured?
Alaji Martin yala kumo funun komando abe bungo kono le wato men ibe tajire ya kan wotumodum.
Hani ateman taraje wolungo suto.
No, he was not there that night.
And from what you've said, it is Yaya Jammeh who ordered that Solbaji and others torture you.
Yeah.
Akoya fo nyamenteng amunta Yaya Jammeh nyin kangodi Solbaji ni wo mol la pour ye tajire ya.
And after he said make it hot for him, they started torturing you.
And umbira ko en alikulu kandi ndia kan wotumolo ye tajire ya damuta ke ilipa.
How long did that go on for?
Oduye wati jelleta ilaw ke kay tajire ya wonya wati jelleta.
Mbijere for almost ngalne 45 kata 1 hour mafongola.
It took about 45 minutes to 1 hour.
Apart from what they were using to hit you, did they do anything else to you?
Hana manke wo fole ulu menu be bulu be lipa kanala foi kudo kela le bang.
Because
They were just hitting me because I was lying down on the floor. My legs were not tied or cuffed. But my hands were still handcuffed and I was lying sideways. And they were kicking me too. That has even caused me a problem. Up to this day, I have a problem with my back.
After they tortured you for about 45 minutes or to an hour, what happened after that?
Then
they left me there like that. I was there, but Nuhabaji was also there. General Baji went out and he was outside the cell, the room. Until after some time, they came back. They took me back into the cell. They took me back, my things, my belongings. They threw them to me inside the cell. Then they took off my handcuff, but they returned me into the cell. When I went in there that day, I didn't eat anything.
The third day, I remember it
was the third day that I had to drink water.
2 guards NIA.
There were 2 guards at the NIA who took pity on me.
Because I
think they were on night duty. They are the people who gave me some water. That was the third day. I can remember the other one's surname. It was Sawane. A tall person. There was another man, the second person was my namesake called Yusufa Kujabi. They are the people who offered me some water. That was the third day. They were on duty that day. Just after the evening prayers.
How long did you spend at the NIA? For how long were you detained?
I remember on the 12th of April long.
I can remember it was on the 12th of April.
Tartaje for nimanyana on the 29th.
If I can remember, I was there until the 29th of May.
Yeah. Wala kita wulungo yembula.
That was the day I was released.
Because on the nimanyana 30th kabring yewulungo mbiri yembula nganying kaito.
If I can remember.
Among clear le boti na koklo ni na dimino backbone neti. But among clear print le bara among clear tenal be date jelale.
Yeah, this is the scanning I took about my backbone, but it's not clear. But had it been clear, you would have seen the date written on it.
Chubanol olungo biriyem bula chubanol milbe state house je wallen samba.
The day I was released, it was the Cubans who were at State House who took me along.
Yen samba laptano because
they took me to the hospital because
of because
I was suffering much from my back.
Was that the first time that you received any kind of medical assistance after you were tortured?
That was the first time I received treatment after I was released.
Because Yembulas around 8 o'clock.
They came for me there around 8 o'clock at night.
8 to 9 8
to 9. They came for me at the NIA.
Then the following day, some from the State House.
I was taken to State House. So the following day, that's the time when I went with this Cuban doctor to the RVH.
So during your detention at the NIA, you did not receive any medical assistance, correct?
I had no treatment or any medical attention.
You told us that the cell you were placed in is on the left-hand side after you enter the NIA premises.
Yes, yes.
From which entrance are you talking about? Is it the one on Marina Parade or different?
Marina Parade.
That's the main gate from the Marina Parade side. The moment you enter, it's on the left-hand side of the compound.
So while you were detained at the NIA for over 2 weeks, were any members of your family arrested?
Yes, my father and my mother. They were arrested from C4 and brought along. And were brought to the NIA. They spent 2 weeks at the NIA.
On the 12th April, 29.
Well, I think
or 30
I spent from the 12th of April to the 29th of May, I was with the NIA.
So
So they brought in my father and my mother and detained them also, and they were detained there also.
But watu minanti bijente malong kumfamani bama natananjere.
But I didn't know, whilst I was there, I was not aware that my mom and dad were brought there.
At that time.
To say that they were detained there at that time, I was not aware of that.
For kabiring yembula,
till after I was released,
in fama nata na bring a call ke na brunata explain yeko pabimbe janga bara man kendia.
That was the time after I was released. I made a call, but my brother told me that our dad is here, but he's not well.
So na diam ta telefonola.
Then we spoke through the telephone. My dad told me that they came and were arrested there too.
ila NIA ka foy ko ha idingoy mune foy idingoy mune dila.
And when they were taken to the NIA, they were threatened with guns. Guns were pointed at them and were asked, what did your son give you?
And mbama fanang.
The same thing applies to my mother.
Mbama anya abukeje.
My mom is blind, she doesn't see.
So yate fana mutanane.
And she was also arrested.
Ya batandije.
And she was given tough time there.
Mfamanata ya bering mfamanata ubulare kino mfamanata sasa I stroke soto.
When they released my father, he became sick and he suffered from a stroke.
Hanisa wo jararo mbola tentingino hanisa mankendi abake.
Up to this day, we are still treating him, but he's not still quite well.
How old were your parents when they were arrested? If you can give us an estimate of how old they were at the time.
Nisa yirikano droila miro to etesa mira ifa sanji jelle soto tumo wa aniba.
Bribe mfama mutala mbaje ko abe tala 80 soto lale.
Well, when my father was being arrested, I think he was around 80 years.
Mama be maybe 65 nyol mafam.
My mother will be around 65 years at the time.
You said that while your parents were detained at the NIA, they were given a tough time. You told us that guns were pointed at them and they were asked questions. Do you know if anything else was done to your parents while they were there?
Ni molo ye nyine fonyere ke koye batandile katule njeje kidota tindi kanje be silandila
No, I don't know anything else, but what they explained to me was that they were given tough time, they were threatened with guns, they were being questioned, and this was what they explained to me.
After you were released, did you return to your duties as an orderly?
When
I was released, they returned me back to State House again.
General
Baji came to collect me.
Drive for me Lieutenant Sow.
The driver he came with is called Lieutenant Sow. They came and took me.
State House.
They took me straight to State House.
First floor to
I climbed up, but I stopped at the first floor. I was there. Yajame himself came down.
This is nothing.
He came and looked at me and spoke to me in English and said, "This is nothing."
I hold on.
That's what he told me. That's the only thing he told me.
How did you feel after everything you had gone through?
Saying,
Having to go back and work for Yaya Jammeh as an orderly at State House, as well as what he said to you. How did it make you feel?
It's just like somebody who doesn't have any other chance. Because I was scared at that time. And that my fear was still increased. I said to myself, let me remain here and pray to Allah. Because I remembered one thing in mind. He says that wherever you go in the world,
anene ko fo ngo hakilo ma woka we njana silandi wato because wato e mala ko itata dawda dunya kono na lafta ke.
He used to say that, saying that he is capable of reaching anybody wherever you go in the world.
So silo ben kono fana.
I was scared because of that.
Bare ngalo ne ko bedame, you know, amanke dula beteti.
But I knew that where I was is not a good place.
You told us earlier that you remained an orderly to Yaya Jammeh until 2014.
Yenyum fonyanko tuta orderly Yaya Jammeh han for 2014 sangokono.
So you continued to serve for another 2 years.
Amunta I continued to do ko keje sanji fula koteng.
Can you tell us the circumstances that led to your departure from that position?
Saying afonye munkule ya sabu han for inata bo pala soto.
Rimbije mutana wo detention kono.
I was there after that detention.
Mbije wo nyamambe do ko la bare ayala kol tala do manding na karola.
I was there working still, but he reduced his interaction with me.
Amera tata fo kari woro.
I think it went until 6 months. 6 months.
Akumasita koteke.
He started again.
You know,
he started getting very aggressive with me.
You know, so
I was still taking it easy. I was still bearing.
You know,
but I knew in my heart that
among, you know, among coming
how he was doing things. I personally knew that.
You know,
I have to find a way and leave that place.
2014 kono.
Because in 2014,
I think April kono.
I think in the month of April,
I demoted.
He demoted me
from second lieutenant.
From second lieutenant.
Kata W01.
To the position of W01.
So after September fanankono.
After September,
I demoted koteke but
I was demoted again.
I kopuloti.
And made me a couple. But I realized that he was getting more and more aggressive.
No,
the threats that he used to tell me.
My dad na frebe kelale ba ko wulo na frebe ba na frebe mbonna silo kan ko wulo moto komi moto na wulo taki.
He told me that my dead body will be picked on the street like if a vehicle crosses a dog.
So
So I also looked at the way things were going. And his government itself, how it was going. Then I said, this thing will not last again.
So what chance on Tamata, you know, America.
That's the time I had the chance of going to America. Still, I was an orderly there.
So, one orderly long Aliu Sanyang.
But still, I was with another orderly called Aliu Sanyang.
I only think Mbala until ba nindikang. I only katan dimbala nimuka.
He attached that orderly to me so that I can train that one.
So, ni wona tamanyola ka watu minantata America.
So we went together on the trip to America. When we reached America, I put down all his things together and left them for him. I came downstairs, that's the way I left him there. There was a friend of mine who was living there. I went to that friend.
no ngo keli rek no nsita je.
I called him and I went to him and sat at his place.
Na ko labanta wala nyam.
That's how I ended up with him.
Mr. Sane, thank you very much for answering my questions.
Mr. Sane yenna kuma kangulu jabi.
I believe this would be a good place to stop
Ngamera jamudin kira kendel tin sidan daming.
and allow the commissioners to ask additional questions if they have any.
Sa en commissioner lu momondi nyinin kar soto ise nyinin ka.
And then you can make your final statement.
Wakola ete fanan lafta ila kumo kumfala kuma kangulu menula ifanansi wolu banke.
Mr. Chairman, I hand over to you.
Consul ko ay kumo sawunde ay kulu di siranti ba fangola walem chairman oti.
Thank you very much, Council, and thank you very much, Mr. Sane, for your testimony.
Chairman ko inumbara bake council inumbara bake Mr. Sane ila sede yaro kang.
I'm sorry again for the suffering that you endured.
Ako isi haketu ye batamen taki wakamala abe hakedanila.
Before I turn to the commissioners, if they have any questions, I just have one small one.
Ako janabe kamudi la commissioner la pruye nyinin ka te fanna ya fansu nyinin ka rendingo soto.
During President Jammeh's time,
Ako President Jammeh la wato.
it would seem that there were 3 items that were symbols of his presidency.
Kusababije amunta atela president ya tamansi romu wolleti.
The stick that he carried,
Akaw doko men mutabulo kono.
the prayer beads,
Tasabayo men katarabulu.
and the Quran.
Aninga kawo Quranu men mutabulu.
What contacts have you had with him on these 3 items? Did the orderlies clean them? Did the orderlies organize them? Did he read the Quran in the middle of the night and stopped at one surah and dropped a piece of paper and needed to continue? Did you have anything to do with any of these 3 items?
Nyin fen sabolu menu aye foteng alla odli ya kono wala itening odli kotengulu fali kusotole alikammen ke wulula bang wala nyinti ke fita ke seneyandi wala alke topoto wala alsike ku multimensi kutamandi wala karola fodum akal qur'ano karanne wato dol fo akake nyaado nyama na akake nyawnyandi nyama alimune soto wokoto.
Thank you.
Akoy numbar
Barka nga ngumwele.
Thank you, I've had that.
Ala sura kami mutamuro
The sword that he holds in his hand,
wo moka ntoluka funding alafta ka funti
that one, if he wants to go out,
jama ka mutala atele ka mutaka samba
in many cases he takes it by himself and goes along with it.
ona nyina tala atala fumurota nyina tala
Or if he goes to the vehicle and he remembers the sword, if he has forgotten it,
aya foko ino itaye sodo kamana nye
he will tell me or the orderly to go and pick up the sword for him.
bar won tolbuka wo mangdu kusoto bala
But we have nothing to do with that sword.
qur'ano fana
The Quran also,
wo fana naka funti teng akala file ka muta
that one also, whenever he is going out, he likes to hold it in his hand.
atun bengalo ne komi qur'ano ka fole ko kan tankarangolo
Because we all know that the Quran is for protection.
kamara aka muta wole kamba
I think that's why he holds the Quran.
bare komi kaje komi nga karang
But to say that he reads it, no.
ko ngo korsa tole
I have realized that, I've seen that in him. He doesn't read the Quran.
ani sabanjango
The third thing,
wala tasabayo ni
the prayer beads.
wa kala file akafana aka wo fana kala file ka muta wato wati
He likes to hold that in his hand every time.
bar fana komi nakata lata nyina tala
But if he is going to anywhere and he forgets the prayer beads back,
asen kila afoko ta yenyi samana
he will call me and say, go and bring this thing for me.
den nga diala
Then we'll bring it and give it to him.
ngo ole ninga kusoto nyi fen sabol bala
If there's anything to do with these 3 things, this is the only thing we have.
yeah.
You cannot confirm whether or not the Quran was a real one. There are some people I know around the world who work with them or who go around with gospels pretending that they are real gospels when it's really an empty box with the cover of the gospel that they are pretending for it to be. Did he carry a real Quran?
Ako o Quran no fo Quran sobe olem katu molo sotonta dunia kono melu ka buko mutai ka dadale ko nyimu dina buko leti yo bari bitun satara yara fenken sengolom fenfente konoto ika mute bulo kono wonya inaka yayi bari fo ite nyi silo sotole ka korosi ko nyimu alquran tonya leti bang
o watu nta fulano.
I cannot say that at that time.
Katu watu mang fahama dino man dino la kujama long.
Because I myself I was not well versed in the religion.
But America.
But when I went to America, that's the time when I came to know a lot of things about the religion. That will I would have known, because if you open the Quran,
ala koma tengi kajele ko ino ko naketa correct Quran olong ibajala ko di different signs signatures mimbi jebine ka wol belonne.
Because if you open the cover, you will see the different writings, the scholars and the producers or those who wrote that particular Quran.
Bare watu mbijentol buka watu muka hanyele fonkomin ka yele tentin ka long.
When we were there, we didn't have the daring mind to open the Quran and look. At that time, I cannot say whether it was a Quran or a book or whatever it was. Yeah.
Thank you very much, Commissioners. If you have any questions.
Chairman Koenumbara, sign Commissioner Lunim Nyininkar Soto.
Deputy Commissioner, you have the floor.
Deputy Commissioner, Deputy Chair, will be Nyininkala.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Sane.
Mr. Sane.
I have 4 questions. The first one
following
is related to the incident with the persons who were described as mercenaries. Are you able to give us an estimate of the distance? Or of the time it took to travel from the place where the incident took place to Alakunda Junction or to the back gate of Jammeh's fence?
I know that the road
walang kata Bambarang abe jemela kang ala kankangola dendangole bala silo bo ma fangol.
The road that goes to Bambarang is just by the side of Jammeh's Gardens or Jammeh's Gardens fence. The road is just by that fence.
Kata Bambarang kang
towards Bambarang.
Okay. Anum manfuta Bambarang fana na satela.
And also we didn't reach the village of Bambarang.
Arngalu na manjam fa jema fana manjam fa ba because birum botana nje kananang.
But I also know that Bambarang wasn't far away from where we stopped, because on our way back it was a short distance before we reached the fence.
Thank you. The second one relates to when you were told that the country was under threat from an attack by Casamance rebels or from Senegalese soldiers. When you went on patrol, did you encounter any of these, the Casamance rebels or the Senegalese soldiers?
That has never happened. We've done our patrols on occasions, but we've never seen anything like that.
3 instead of 4. How could you perform as a soldier? If you were living in fear, or if you did not sleep at night.
Thank you. It will be a very difficult thing. Before a soldier will become an effective soldier, you will have to sleep and have enough sleep. But you are sitting down and you cannot sleep. And you don't know what will happen to you today or tomorrow. You are always living in fear like that. You are sitting thinking of what will happen to me today or something. Anything can happen to me today or tomorrow. Living like that is very, very hard. It's tough.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Chairman,
Commissioner Samba, you have the floor, please.
Commissioner Samba le lafte nyinin kala.
Mr. Kamara.
Ako Mr. Kamara. Mr. Sane.
Mr. Sane ken. Lafte nyinin kala kuma kileni la ko fo watu mina yaya jameka nyimbe ke mo sunkutu ndewol ka ataya Samba e santo ka jindi duma. Fala muso wole.
Well, the question is that when these girls were brewing attire for Yaya Jammeh, taking it up to him, where was his wife? When that happens, that happens when the wife is not in the country. That happens during when the wife has traveled to other countries. Because the wife travels a lot. That it happens during those trips. That's it.
Okay. Question momenti.
The second question is,
well,
she asked whether you were also part of the killers.
Company killing.
I once was with them in one company. And I worked with them for a short time. But I was helped by God. I left their group. If I said that I have never worked with them, I will be telling lies.
Ni murata kono lentata wo patrol la for independent newspaper janita.
I went with them on patrol when the independent newspaper was burned. What helped me was I didn't even alight from the vehicle. I was sitting on board the vehicle. And also when I came with Solo to Banjul, Solo decided to take us on that trip. We left the way. If I said I have never worked with them, I'll be telling lies. But I have never been present or to see where they have killed a person. Yes, that's what I can say. That was plain to me.
Sabanjao.
Third.
Sana.
Sana.
And Sana mentata.
And the people you went with Sana.
Atele isanso batele bulo kono no apareta news dulani janila bang isanso bontaka mbamfo.
Was he the guy having the petrol can and wanted to burn the place, which caused him to burn himself? Was it that way? When they were going, he was the guy having the petrol gallon.
Maybe I
don't know how it happened because I was not present there, but he went along with the gallon. But he was the guy who held the gallon.
Okay, thank you very much. So, aketa kulukan sumunalet.
Abaraka, what happened turned back on him. It was a boomerang. That's it. That's how it happened.
Thank you very much indeed. Mr. Sane, if you have any concluding remarks to make, you may proceed to do so now.
Mr. Sane, niya kumasoto ibe memfula purka kumakang lubanga la saying isitenten yofo.
Nte kaimbe Gambia molbe Danila.
Well, I am appealing to the whole Gambia.
Puriye sabaro lafa.
Let them bear
puriye yamfa molla.
And forgive people.
Ntol
as for us,
ntol mu dinwal mi alon ko wulita ko kata purka doko jide purka na wulal ma koy.
We were young and we got up and said, let's go and find work so that we can help our parents.
Anum fanang ami manke modola first choice ti.
And army was not the first choice for some of us. Some people tried to do other things. When they were unsuccessful, they decided to fall back and become soldiers. And after we joined the army, what our intention was to safeguard our country and to protect our countrymen.
But cool nata, falling anata Kenya me ndolfongol ninsita fongino mbuka wofong satano.
But things changed in a way which in fact was strange to ourselves, because when we think back of what happened, we cannot explain it. We just regret and pray to Allah if we have wronged anybody. We are appealing for those people to forgive us. Because if you have something in mind, thinking of something, and you die with that in your mind, and the people didn't forgive you,
you will
die. But it's only Allah who will know what will happen to you. But you personally, you will not be happy.
So
I am pleased appealing to all Gambians to forgive those who lost their loved ones. Some people missed their sons. Those people are still living in pain. It caused suffering for them.
So,
still, what I have to say is I'm appealing to all Gambians to bear and forgive us. And I wanted to add something else. When we were soldiers, when we were in the army, there were certain things that we cannot read and we didn't know.
Like human rights violations, the legal duties and non-legal duties. Maybe
Human rights violations, abuses, and legal things and illegal things were things. Those were things that we knew nothing about.
Even internet or State House.
Even the internet, when I was at the State House,
any moment Facebook sort of or online you can news read or we
were not allowed to go through the internet or Facebook or anything. You were not even allowed to read newspapers to know what's happening in the world. Because had we had access to those things, we would have been able to read and know what is going on in the world.
bare watu minan tulbe state house mo nene mo buka femma mialon ko online news media or anything we ko wala jube o wala new sifa kerek ika problem o sotole.
But by the time when we were at the State House to go online and things like the internet and so on, the moment you start going through those things, you will have a serious problem if it is known. That's why I'm still begging people, I'm appealing for forgiveness.
I
want to say something that we shouldn't fool each other. There are people who are encouraging other people not to say anything, not to talk, not to say anything. Whoever tells you that, he's fooling you. I have my own experience. When I was working at the State House and when I was arrested, I cannot praise myself to say that I'm a good person, but during my career, I never insulted anybody, I never beat anybody, I have never done anything like that to any person. Even my friends, who could have gone to my people, to my relatives, to my family and tell them that become Mr. So-and-so is so-and-so, those people decided to run away. They decided to abandon me. I know what I feel.
Bring testimony di Malik Jata Fanang, Hinata Fana Yinditin. What on Ningamiano Linkasijan Kamol call, Nimul Kadiam, but bringing Keta American after another detained in America because Yalwa Benyame sang a Benyame Hani Femfo Yadimilko Benyame Femfo Ilakoto Ela Kaitol Juberek Yeto Jerekino like Kule Ketaten Rek if any allegation about Yajeme in the Gambia.
When I was in America, I was also detained there after Malik Jata's testimony, because in America, if they hear anything about Yaya Jammeh and deemed that you were involved, well, you will be detained. This is what happened to me in America. I was detained there.
Telephone call so try to model Kilikafoko. Alimma call Aleta Nindulato Alimma ke Pru.
When I came home, I tried to make phone calls to certain people to tell them to help me and do some certain things for me. And those people, when I was in America, I was helping them, doing things for them. So when I appealed to them to help me and do certain things for me, they even stopped taking my calls. They all abandoned me.
So wala rek mba sutani la le pru mo nkana nyonene yena nanjang iko e banka diam min ketaila o min ketaite min longeno e ko eta fola o e man tonya fo wala fm mabo akela nyonya be lon nale.
This is why I said let's not fool each other. Things that you've done or you've known or you have gone through, and you come here and refuse to tell the truth, that's very bad. Come and tell the truth. I think that's the only way things should go. And those people who tell you if you go there don't talk or don't tell the truth or don't say anything, if anything should happen to you, those are the first people who will run away from you.
So
I will stop here. I decided to come home by myself.
Mr. Sane, Do you put you on a final order? I'm ready to go.
When I was informed in America that we put you on the final order for you to go home, I said, I will go.
Are you going to
When they brought in my papers, they told me whether I'm going to sign it. I said, yes, I will sign the papers. I signed all those documents. They asked me whether I am ready to board the plane. I said, yes. I said, yes, I'm ready. I want to go home. Well, also, after boarding the plane, then they knew that this man is ready to go.
Because America if in
because the American law, even after signing your documents and you suddenly turn and said, no, I don't want to go back. After boarding the plane and said, no, I will not go, I want to go, come down, they won't force you. They won't tie you up, they won't do anything to you. They will take you and change your detention status. If you are in an open detention, they will take you to a tight detention. And that's how you will stay there. Well, it is not worth that. Well, those who come and tell you when you go, don't tell the truth, don't speak, don't do that, don't do that, those people don't like you. They are just fooling you. There was a person. He told me, you are going to testify. And told me that UN has approved that Yaya Jammeh is coming back. I told him, you are fooling each other here. If that's what's keeping you sitting down here and you refuse to tell the truth, you are fooling yourself. Where I am in America, and I know how his things are here. If people are fooling each other saying Yaya is coming, he is coming, they are just worrying themselves. That man is looking for a place where he can run and hide. I'm not afraid of anything. I'm not afraid of him. I went with him, I traveled with him, then I decided to dump him and go my way. And I came back to the Gambia. I'm still not afraid of him. If anybody wants to take up his affairs with you, you are just worrying yourself. That's what I have to tell the people, so that people will know. That man is looking for where to run and hide. He's looking for a place where he can run and hide. To say that he is coming, he is coming. That's why some people are afraid. They are fooling themselves. That's what I want to make very clear here. I want people to hear that.
So,
I will stop here.
Thank you very much indeed, Mr. Sane. Thank you for coming to testify before the commission. We are very grateful to you. This brings us to the end of the public hearing. And as I announced earlier, we would close this meeting, and then the Committee on Reconciliation would take over with the reconciliation event that I had announced with Mr. Sana Sabali and Mr. Edward Singate, who are going to be participating in that. Bless you. Who are going to be participating in that event.
Saying chairman ko bi lungo siwobe dan na janne bari bitung kulu mambanjang katu mufula sotonta men ya lonko ipareta pour ka say nyokan ka muru nyokan ka bariya choki kadia wala keta sana sabaliti anin Edward Singate so committee o men marta o sayño kan o kuñalla bitun wolle fanalu be ko tamandila say nin janjango keta wo bengole fanambina kala jang wala na commission le chairman ayole kankulaten sa aya fole num bari asayta wala kanten pour molu salon ko wala bina kala.
Thank you. And Chairman, are we ready for the event?
Ako ala baraka bitun fo chairman pareta ko kamale bang.
They're here already. Fine. Thank you very much. Public meeting, a public hearing of the commission is adjourned. We meet tomorrow at 10 o'clock.
Commission la jama bengo bantalen si benjan talantang sining somanda ala baraka.
Check out my few. Boy, take this mic.
It will come.
Who is that? You?
Najila, Tempa.
Whatever. Yeah, what?
bad cold. I don't want to pass it.
Don't move to the next area, please. Over there. I'm ready to get it. Sorry, eh? It's okay. It's okay. It's okay. It's the money. Have a seat down, please. Okay, how is it going
Thank you all very much.
I'll hold this one.
Oh, thank you all very much, Emma, for coming to this reconciliation event. That's what we call it. It was convened at the initiative of Mr. Sana Sabali, and Mr. Edward Singate agreed to join him in this reconciliation event. TRRC did not initiate this, but we, under the mandate given to us, the ones who provide auspices here for this event, as well as the blessing and the support that we are giving to witnesses. We have had 2 or 3 events before like this, reconciliation. I'll give the floor to the chair of the Reconciliations Committee, Commissioner Imam Jallo.
Mr. Chairman, Vice Chairperson, Commissioners, ladies and gentlemen, and the Gambian nation, today is a great day. We have 2 adversaries who have finally decided to come on their own to seek for forgiveness of the nation, of people who have been harmed, and to accept responsibility for all that happened. You have heard them over and over at this commission here earlier to what happened and their own feelings about what exactly happened. And we must now find in our own hearts and everybody's hearts to forgive them and to reconcile. The intention of the reconciliation is one of the mandates of this commission. And we want to do it, and these people have given us the chance to do that. They did not wait to be called. They decided on their own and to come here before this Gambian nation and to apologize and to accept what had happened and to reconcile and make peace between themselves and us and all the victims who have gone through this process. Mr. Chairman, I thank you for facilitating this occasion, and also thank the 2 persons, Singate and Sabali, on their own and for facilitating this occasion for us to meet here today and to hear from them a few words about how this has happened and why we should now find in our own hearts to forgive them and forget about the past. Thank you. Mr. Sabali.
The choreography is this. We would hear from the 2 witnesses, and later on they would make joint remarks. As I said, we are only facilitators here at TRRC. Mr. Sabali, you initiated the thing. Thank you again very much.
Okay.
You have the floor.
Thank you very much. Good afternoon. Assalamu alaikum. I have only 2 proverbs in this regard. And my mother and my grandmother used to tell me, if you break the bridge over which you're supposed to walk over to go and ask for forgiveness, when the time comes, you may not have that big day. Or also, if you clench your fist, you cannot give and you cannot receive. From this angle, when I listened to Edward's testimony, of course I understood we all fall in the same category. Either way, we are victims, either way, we are oppressors. So I decided to initiate the line so that we can reconcile for our personal interests and also to make a line so that at least we ask for forgiveness deep from our hearts to the nation so that the victims and their families could find it in their hearts to give us a forgiveness which will actually help us all to reconcile with our inner I'm speaking Germany, with our inner minds to be able to move forward as a nation in the reconciliatory form.
First of all, I would like to thank the Almighty Allah for giving me and all of us this opportunity. I would also like to thank the chairman of the commission and the commission members, but more so, I would like to thank my brother Sana Sabali. We should not have been in this situation right now. This is not what we got up to do in 1994. I can remember clearly your vision, my vision, that this country would be a paradise for all Gambians. Anyway, everything is in the hands of the Almighty Allah. We had our intentions. It did not end up like that. In the process, we fell apart to such an extent that you had to go through something so terrible. Yes, I had assassination attempts and I was poisoned and people shot at me, but that is nothing compared to what you had to go through. No human being should have had to go through that.
Yeah, but there, the Almighty Allah have told us in the Quran, لا يكلف الله نفسا إلا وسعها لها ما كسبت. That is to say, on no soul does Allah place a burden other than what you can bear. You get all the evils you earn and you get all the good you earn. So I take it from that angle, it was this time.
Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen, with the faith that you have, I cannot sit here and state that as a human being, I would have had your faith. I may not have even survived what you had. But Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen, again we give all praise and thanks to the Almighty Allah for bringing us here once again so that we could at least shake hands once again, sit side by side like we used to, and exchange like the brothers that we had started out to be. I cannot apologize enough. I cannot find the words that to express the regret of my contribution to what you went through and what your family went through. And I hope that you will be able to find it deep in your heart to be able to forgive me, and also the same for your family.
I already did that from the day I left the prisons. At the gate, I had said it clearly, I had forgiven. Even Jame, if he stood standing before me, I would tell him the same thing. And today, I reiterate again, on behalf of my family and myself, I have forgiven completely, wholeheartedly from my mind.
Yeah.
Can you stand up for the camera, shake hands, and face the camera across? Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman. Who face the camera? Yeah, sure. The chairman. Oh. Yes, from on the side. Let us all thank God for this privilege and to thank Him over and over that this opportunity has arisen. It is the beginning of many more reconciliations. We are planning to meet people near and far and try to reconcile them, because that is what we have to do. We are a nation. We cannot afford for conflicts to divide us. We must learn to come together, and I hope this is a good example, and we should all pray for them. And let's read Fatiha and Alam Nasra so that God will guide us and help us. Bismillah. فلله الحمد رب السماوات ورب الأرض رب العالمين وله الكبرياء في السماوات والأرض وهو عزيز الحكيم ربنا آتنا في الدنيا حسنة وفي الآخرة حسنة وقنا عذاب النار سبحان ربك رب العزة عما يصفون وسلام على المرسلين والحمد لله رب العالمين آمين. Thank you. Thank you.
Well, I was just going to say, this is reconciliation between two individuals. There is a larger audience out there. There is a larger audience whose forgiveness they both had asked for. And I hope you would address them, that larger audience, the two of you together.
Okay. On our behalf, we are asking for your understanding and indulgence into the part of reconciliation and nation building. In as much as we have forgiven each other, we have asked for forgiveness from each other, we are making it a larger scale from the whole country, nationwide. Those who are inside the country right now, or those who are in the diaspora, irrespective of where you may be, or even if you are not directly a victim's family or a victim yourself, we are asking for forgiveness from every individual. And we hope that you will find it in your hearts to give us forgiveness. Thank you very much.
I pray that the Almighty Allah would instill forgiveness in the hearts of all of those who have been offended in one way or the other. As my brother Sana Sabali said, we have forgiven each other, and I hope this will serve as an example for others also to come forward and also forgive, bury the hatchet, and move forward so that we can concentrate on developing our beloved nation. Once again, whoever, I, my brother, any of us, or anyone who suffered due to our actions jointly or individually, please find it in your hearts to forgive us. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Bishop, you have the opportunity to say a small prayer for our friends.
Good. Great God of nation, you who create all humankind in your image and in your likeness, we thank you for this nation, the Gambia. It is you who have planted us in this land, and it is you who is the authority over all authority throughout the whole face of the globe. As these two creations of yours have come here and publicly embraced each other and asked for forgiveness from each other for the wrongs that they have done each other, we ask that you will cement this resolve in their hearts, that it will be true reconciliation indeed, and the reconciliation will embrace them, and it will extend to members of their families, and it will extend to the wider family, the community at large, and the whole populace of this nation, the Gambia, those that are living here presently and those that are abroad, so that this effort of truth, of reconciliation, of reparation will hold water and will be a complete example of what Gambians can do throughout the whole face of the globe. We ask that these will continue to flow, and that this that has happened here today will touch the hearts and minds of others who are outside, who have been hurting, that they know that reconciliation is a possibility as long as you believe in God. So may what has happened here, this lovely thing that has happened here, we ask that it will flow throughout the whole nation. And it will go to the diaspora, and minds will be changed. Minds will be reconciled, and the nation will be built up, because we are truly one people, one nation, and one Gambia. We thank you for this possibility today. And we say, bless these servants of yours. Bless their families, and bless the extended family, the whole nation, the Gambia. This we ask through Jesus Christ, our Lord. Amen.
Thank you very much. Thank you, and thank you all. This brings us to the end of the event. Again, thank you very much indeed. Thank you very much. Thank you very much indeed. Yeah.